No matter how you feel about them, I think we can all agree the Lakers looked different during their season opener. Completely different offense, new game plan, and all around different compared to last season. Which might sound weird considering they have a very similar team, the only real difference being Dalton Connect within their primary rotation, but the actual difference coming from their new head coach, Redick. Again, new offense, plenty of different offensive sets, much more variation and creativity, and it all around led to them looking very different and potentially much better. Now I think we'll wait before going that far, but it might directly benefit a few individuals in their team. During my last video we went over what kind of sets they're running and what Redick was doing differently with their team, but how is that going to impact or directly benefit a few individuals on their team? Obviously will benefit Anthony Davis, but who else in their team? Not the star players but the role players, and how will it benefit them? Or will anybody be negatively affected? We'll break it all down. But before we get too far into it, I want to tell you a little bit about my partner for the NBA season, Underdog Fantasy. The easiest way to get in on NBA action, Underdog keeps it simple with their easy to use website and app. Pick between 2-day players to fill out your pick'em entry, get your picks right, and get rewarded for your NBA knowledge. And if you want to follow along with me, here's what I got going on for tonight and the Lakers game tomorrow night. For my first pick, I got a gimme pick, literally, with Victor Wembanyama having higher than 0.5 points. Yeah, I don't think that one needs any explanation. But then for pick number 2, I got our boy Anthony Davis having higher than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I mean, if you saw what he did during the season opener, then I think you know why. And not to mention Phoenix letting Ivica Zubac go off for 21, 9, and 3 last night. So I think Anthony Davis is primed for a good game too. And then for pick number 3, I got Rui Hachimura having higher than 4.5 rebounds. Rui Hachimura has now been given more rebounding freedom by Redick, which we'll talk more about in a bit here, but I think that'll translate to better rebounding numbers. I mean, he had 3 offensive rebounds alone during their season opener, and 5 total rebounds. So I think there's a pretty good shot of him having at least 5 again, if not more than that. And with that being said, those are my 3 picks for tonight and tomorrow night. And if you want to follow along, be sure to check out Underdog Fantasy, and don't forget to use code JSM to claim your free pick, plus a first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. There will be a link for it in the video description down below. But without further ado, let's dive right into it. And like I mentioned before, Anthony Davis will obviously benefit from Redick's new system, and I talked about this in detail during my last video, but to briefly summarize it, they utilized him more as an offensive hub for their team, initiating their offense through him in the high post, and really running more of their offense around him. He had a 34.2% usage rate during Game 1, the highest on their entire team, and would be the highest of AD's entire career. Now again, that might not stay the same, but it was a very good outlook for his individual usage, and definitely for their offense too. They're running plays not only through him or for him, but actually around him. Rather than just high pick and roll plays or low post dump offs around the rim, they've now gotten much more creative. Not only to get him the ball or what he does with the ball, but to even get him open off the ball, using inverted screen plays with guards, aka the guard setting the screen for the big, in this case being Anthony Davis, or even running a 1-4 offensive set to divert attention away from Anthony Davis. Getting the ball to Austin Reeves on this play, after running across the screen from both LeBron and Anthony Davis, he then gives the ball back up to LeBron after running an empty side screen play, and after that, he draws the attention of both Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, and therefore diverting attention away from Anthony Davis, who then has a free lane to the rim and gets an easy alley-oop play. And overall, AD is going to greatly benefit from the integration of their new offense. He finally appears to be the centerpiece of it, whether it be as their offensive hub, or the guy they're trying to get open from a diversion like the play I showed you before. He is going to get a lot more usage and definitely benefit from it if you ask me. Moving on though, as he will not be the only beneficiary of it, I think another guy will be Rui Hachimura. During Game 1, he had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 14 field goal attempts, of which he made 7 of. Had much more of a role within their offense, not simply as a corner wing catch and shoot guy, even though that will be his primary role, which he should fill at times, but was finally allowed to be, and not to mention being pushed to be more of an offensive rebounder by Redick, and a guy to take advantage of isolation plays when he has a mismatch too. I pointed out this play during my last video, but it really does showcase my point perfectly. D'Angelo Russell takes the corner 3 here, But even though Rui has a perfect angle and is not being boxed out, he would have been told last season to get back on defense. But now with their new game plan, Hachimura gets to crash the offensive glass with a perfect angle and then gets the offensive putback, leading to an easy 2 points to their team that they otherwise, meaning last season, would have not gotten. But then actually with the ball, Hachimura is not only being allowed to, but actually pushed by Redick to attack the mismatches, which he does tend to get playing alongside LeBron and AD. Take this play for example. Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards switch after LeBron gives Randle an off-ball bump, which I think was coordinated within this play. And even though Ant is solid defensively when he wants to be, he's simply not big enough to contain Hachimura with a full head of steam, and Hachimura took advantage of that here, bullying his way toward the rim, getting past Ant, and then throwing down a monstrous dunk on Rudy Gobert. Definitely a good play for him and a really big showing of confidence too, or simply being allowed to actually do that to begin with. Even apart from that though, Hachimura took 5 field goal attempts out of isolation in this game alone, about 2 or 3 more than he would usually get, if not 4 or 5, and it's now part of their actual game plan for him to take those shots. Whenever he has a mismatch or simply during a broken play, Hachimura is being pushed and motivated to take that kind of shot. I think that'll benefit their offense. Hachimura is a walking mismatch within their starting lineup. If you're putting a guy that's 30 pounds smaller than him or even 3 inches shorter, then yeah, he definitely should take advantage of that mismatch, and I'm glad that's finally within their game plan too. And overall, between the rebounding freedom, being a bigger part of their offensive game plan, and then maybe even showing more commitment defensively, Hachimura could really benefit from this new system. But then for beneficiary number 3, I think this will be Austin Reeves. I think he will also benefit from more rebounding freedom. I mean, he had 9 total rebounds alone in game 1, 4 of which being offensive rebounds, and if you ask me, is simply a naturally gifted rebounding guard, has great timing, and a very good nose to the ball for a guard too. Simply knows where to be on the court after the ball goes up, and that leads to him grabbing a lot of offensive rebounds, which again, he is now being allowed to actually pursue. And then for their overall offense, I think he'll thrive within it. Being a more motion-styled offense, I think that will really benefit him. More defensive breakdowns, and Reeves can definitely take advantage of them too. Whether it's a mismatch for him, or him being able to find an open guy around the rim, an open 3-point shooter, or an open backdoor cutter, he's definitely very capable of doing it. And he's already been utilized as the primary playmaker within a few of their offensive sets, no longer being looked at to fill just a pick and roll playmaking role, kind of like he did last season, which did limit him at times. And with Reeves having a knack for getting open and finding open teammates, I think that'll really benefit him. When the defense is moving, that's when Reeves can be at his best, taking advantage of defenders that are off balance or not meant to be defending him, drawing fouls, finding open teammates, and simply taking advantage of an uncoordinated defense. That's what their new motion offense can do, and I think that Reeves will definitely benefit from it. And even though he hasn't shown it quite yet, I think his shooting will likely get back to his 2022-23 level under JJ Redick. More time with his starting lineup alone will probably help. More offensive threats will likely lead to him being open more often, and more open looks should theoretically lead to him having a higher shooting percentage. But overall, I think that Reeves will definitely benefit from a more motion offense, being allowed more rebounding freedom, and simply being used a bit better as well. But now for beneficiary number 4, and this will be our final one, I think this will be Jackson Hayes. You know, he might not ever be the guy that their plays will be revolved around, and definitely shouldn't be either, but he will often find himself open within them. After all, the more movement, the harder it is for a defense to keep track of an offense, and especially bigs around the rim. And that will likely lead to more dump-offs and alley-oop plays coming Hayes' way. I mean, take a look at this play they ran to break the T-Wolves zone defense. They have D'Lo start down low and then creep up toward the free throw line to catch the ball, which is where you want the ball to break his zone defense, the middle. And the attention that D'Lo draws from there attracts the attention of both Dante DiVincenzo and Naz Reid, leaving Hayes completely wide open as he moves toward the dunker spot, ending in a wide open dunk for him. You know, it might not be his zone defense every time, but simply the motion within their offense will lead to Hayes being lost track of, especially around the rim, and that will lead to him getting easy dump-offs around the rim, or quick passes like the one that D'Lo made to him here, and then him finishing with a dunk or alley-oop. Even apart from that though, he is now getting to play much earlier in the game and with Anthony Davis in the court at times too. No longer having to wait until the second quarter to sub in, he now gets to come in at about the 4-minute mark during the first and third quarter, playing with Anthony Davis for about 4 minutes each, and giving their team a different look, albeit one that I don't really love quite yet, especially not on defense. I hate that zone defense with Anthony Davis at the top, but that's neither here nor there. Hayes will get more playing time, and that obviously will benefit him. Giving him more opportunity on the court, whether it be for more offense, defense, or rebounding, simply numbers in general, he should benefit from it and will obviously get more of an opportunity to show what he can do. Now, maybe that will or will not decrease when Christian Wood eventually comes back, but up until that point, Hayes will get more playing time, probably about 15 to 18 minutes per game depending on how well he plays, and definitely should benefit from it. But for my overall thoughts, not only the new offense, but the new system under JJ Redick will directly benefit a few individuals on their team. More of them will likely be coming, but the three early standouts after Anthony Davis were, in my opinion, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and Jackson Hayes. But with that being said, what do you guys think? Who do you think will benefit the most in their new offense or overall system? Both the star players like LeBron and Anthony Davis, but really both the role players. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and turn on notifications so you never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.